As our report tonight on family ties.
I have not had my parents now for over a decade.
The beginning of Barack Obama's improbable journey began with an improbable union. An African man named Barack and a white Kansan named Stanley Ann wed at the dawn of the 60s, when interracial marriages were still illegal in many places. It lasted, though, just 3 short years, and their lives not much longer. Obama's father was killed in a car accident in Africa in 1982. His mother, stricken with ovarian cancer, died in 1995.
It would be wonderful to have the counsel of parents. It would be wonderful to be able to admit mistakes or just get some encouragement.
Instead, he has to rely on what they left him, and each left him something very different. Obama's father abandoned him at age 2. He left first for Harvard and eventually returned to his native Kenya. To this day, the elder Barack remains an example for the younger, but of how not to live.
I watch myself for some of the things that I know ended up hurting him. Too much pride, an inability to listen to other people. Those are things that I guard against in myself.
But in that fatherless void stood his young mother, who remains more influential than anyone. For example, when Brian Williams showed him on the cover of Newsweek for the very first time, the senator's reaction was not about himself.
You know, it makes me think of my mom, and the fact that, you know, she's not around.
Obama's half-sister, Maya, remembers that there was little traditional about their mother.
I think it is interesting to look at the patterns, how our mother started in the Midwest and ended up in Indonesia, and how he started in Hawaii, in essence, and returned to the Midwest.
Remember that?
And friends who knew Stanley Ann early see her in him all the time.
The passion he brings, I think a lot of that's something he learned from his mother's knee.
Lessons that stuck when he needed them most.
When I was writing that speech on race,
I'm the son of a black man from Kenya and a white woman from Kansas.
her memory loomed over me. Is this something that she would trust?
A reality check he still seeks.
You know, at night, if I'm saying a prayer, you know, I send out maybe a little message to my mother, and hopefully she somewhere can hear it.
A quiet but heartfelt whisper over the noise of a presidential campaign. Lee Cowan, NBC News, New York.
The girls, Malia and Sasha, have they gotten their dog?
No dog yet.
The deal on dog is a year from now, because what we know about raising a dog is that you have to be pretty stable, right? So you don't drive your dog crazy. So we had a conversation around the dinner table about a month ago, because this came up. When's the dog coming? So we figured a year from now, in the spring, we would be settled one way or another. And we
also have a year to test whether they are sufficiently responsible.
They are
They're responsible for a 9 and a 6-year-old. They're responsible, but whether they're going to be responsible, whether they're going to be responsible in the middle of winter to go walk that dog.
We're getting a dog.
When it's cold outside, that's
the dog is done. It's a done deal.
The dog's a done deal.
You guys are getting a dog.
The dog's a done deal. Who's walking the dog? That is what we're concerned about.